What is going on, people? Welcome back to the Invincible podcast, the greatest podcast in the universe. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and today I'm joined by Miss Dana Abercrombie.
Hello, everyone. Excited to be here. Long time, but we're finally here.
Yes, and of course, I got my Throwdown co-host, Mr. Chris Seeley. Come on, Chris, you can do it, buddy. Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm talking for him. And Carlos Romero.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah, you did freeze. Yeah, Chris just sent me a message out. Please stop that in freeze. Yes, you did, sir. Oh, man. So hopefully, by the way, this has been a running theme of before we got on internet issues. Like, what is literally 5 minutes before the show, my internet crapped out. It was fine because I was obviously making the show notes. you know. But yes, we're back. I'm very excited about this. As you guys know, this is literally the only TV show I watch now because everything else is crap now, and it makes me very happy. This show, very, very happy. So just like last season, since we're covering 3 episodes and we don't want to be here for 3 hours, even though I'm pretty sure some of you guys would like that. We're gonna just go over the main beats of these 3 episodes, and obviously we're gonna cover all the fun little things in between, and then obviously next week we'll go back to regular. We're going to do our full scene breakdown and everything. But yes, season 4 is back, and obviously a lot of stuff happened in season 3, and people are very curious about that. So let's get into it. As usual, I'm going to go around the room. Everybody gives their little hey, what do you think? And then we go into more details. So yeah, first 3 episodes, great. They set up the not only what we have, right? In terms of following up on what we saw, but then setting up a lot of cool things. And I like the way the 3 episodes are, even though they all felt very different from each other. It has that Invincible thing of here's the core story and then a bunch of little side stories. But generally, I liked it. Dana, what do you think of the first 3 episodes?
I thought the first 3 episodes was really well done. I love the fact that we get different perspectives, and I understand that they not necessarily changed something in the comic, but they expanded it to give us more of a different point of view of what's happening. And I do appreciate that, so that the people who have read the comics aren't saying, oh, look, it's beat by beat by beat. So they're changing it up. I like the fact that we also got, new villains, as well as expanding the stories of the older cast. And also the brother is now a teenager. Mm-hmm. So that offers, as you all have seen already, interesting different points of view, that everything is not exactly how Mark wants it to be. So I like that they did that.
All right. Let's see if Chris is back. Chris.
Yeah, I'm here.
Quick overview of what you think of the first 3 episodes, and obviously we'll get into more details later. Just a quick overview.
I think it was well done. I think they hit all the proper notes. I had only a couple of negatives, and that was a little bit of writing issues I had, but everything else was fantastic. They got the spirit of the fights there. The major stuff was all there. I did like the expansion into some details. Like Dana said, there was some stuff in the comic that's like a single panel or a single page that they elaborated on, that I kind of appreciated that, that we got more information, especially about the Viltrumites, and we'll get into that. But
we're definitely getting to that.
Definitely well done. I enjoyed all 3. I binged them. I watched them back to back to back. I was like, this is great. Give me more.
And of course, Carlos, a quick rundown of what you thought of the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, well, to honor a member that's not here, I do agree with everything that's been said. The first 3 episodes, man, there was not a dull moment in the first 3 episodes, which was great. I mean, it just kept going and going and going and going. So, it's taking you for a ride. The first 3 episodes really flowed really well. I in particular enjoyed, I don't know, I might have a bias. Alan the Alien and Nolan, those stories, those that camaraderie, it's great. So I really appreciated that. I really enjoyed the the Viltrumite backstory and everything that happened and the fallout. So yeah, first 3 episodes are great. We were seeing more Mark. I mean, we saw something with Mark at the end of the 3rd episode. I was like, excuse me? But yeah, really enjoyed it.
All right, good stuff. We're going to get to specifics. And obviously, I mean, the title of this episode already says it. This is a spoiler podcast. Well, I don't want to hear any shit in the comments. Oh, you spoiled the whole thing. It's a spoiler cast, So, yeah, again, we're going to go through the main characters, and then we'll get into some more. We got to talk about Mark. Because obviously, after the events of season 3, he is now like, I may need to start really killing these threats because they keep coming back. And I love the first episode where he meets. I don't think they named him in this episode, but I'll say this, not much of a spoiler. The guy's name is Dinosaurus. He meets Dinosaurus. He's about to kill the guy, right? When he turns back into a regular human, but he holds back. But why does he hold back? Because the Guardian showed up. And then we contrast that with the other episode with actually, I believe it's the same end of the same episode. With the Sequids, he kills the guy. He kills Russ, so it tells you where Mark is going. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say with Dinosaurus, he had no pressure. Like the guy changed back, right? He was human. He was begging for his life, and Mark was just weighing that option. Like, nah, I can't let you fuck with people, dude. I can't do this anymore, right? He's going through that. With the Sequids, though, he was under pressure. That dome was gonna break. Bulletproof couldn't get to him in time to give him whatever it was, the disruptor or whatever, to stop him. So he just punched his head off. I was like, yo, you know what? And I was cool with that because I do remember how that rolled in the comic. It was like the same thing. And you understand why he did it, right? But he was under pressure. So that was like, I can't let the Sequids escape. And that was a more tense situation. Dinosaurus was not. Like there was no threat at that point. So if he killed him, that would have been cold-blooded,
Yeah. No, that's a great point, And by the way, there's something I've always been wrestling with this podcast because I've read these comics like almost 20 years ago, and my memory is not as good as yours, Chris. So I honestly don't remember, like, wait, did he kill this guy or not? Because obviously I know he didn't kill Dinosaurus, but I'm like, did he kill Russ, the astronaut? So
yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. But yes, different thing. And I like how Mark is like, I had to do this, but he's not happy about it. You could tell he's like, I'm becoming like my father now. And that's something, right, Dana? That's something that even Cecil's like, hey, bro, you're a fucking nuclear bomb. Like, I'm not going to be doing my job if I don't keep an eye on you. Go ahead, Dana.
Here's the thing. I completely agree with you with that aspect. But it seemed like, Nolan, not necessarily, he took more of a pleasure a little bit when killing people than Mark. That is the difference so far that we have between the two. So I still want to be able to make that distinction. It's not.
No, you're right, but Dana, and we're going to tie this into it later. Why does that distinction exist? Look how Mark was raised, and we saw how Nolan was raised. It's like even though they have the same like genetics and that kind of need to fight, they come from very different societies. So Mark is taking a different stance with it, even if he's doing something horrible. So I'm really glad you point that out. But Carlos, what do you think about Mark's journey throughout these 3 episodes where he's like, obviously isn't happy with what he needs to do, but he needs to do it even though it's weighing on him.
Yeah, it's the standard Americanized superhero trope where it's like we don't kill our enemies, and we're seeing the ramifications of that in this show. The thing that I'm trying to see is with Mark, whether with the astronaut, it was logical. The way he killed him, it was logical. The dinosaur, and then we saw later on with I forgot homeboy's name, the shield dude, the one with the family, the kid and the wife.
Yeah. Titan, right? The
Titan.
dude, yeah.
Yes. The thing type dude.
Yes.
It felt like more of an instinct with the dinosaur guy in him, because it felt like, it's my instinct to backlash and put pain and almost kill the person. As where with the astronaut guy, it's like, I need to save everyone, and this is my conclusion to saving everyone. So I'm curious to see where that goes. I kind of suspected Oliver to be this type of character. That's something I predicted previously. I'm like, it's going to be Oliver that's going to be more of the I'm gonna get the tropes of Viltrumites more than Mark. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I want to get to Oliver a little bit later, but I also think because of the fact he's being raised on Earth, he is now less ruthless as he used to be. Like
Yeah.
even he's like, hey, you told me not to kill anybody, bro. I'm trying to be right by you. So that's also kind of a nice contrast there. And then going back to your earlier point, it's like they were raised different ways, so they're not going to be as evil, you know? Go ahead, Chris.
Well, it's funny the juxtaposition. Like Oliver was the one that was cold. Like when he killed the Maulers, like that was he didn't even care, right? And that was more like his father. That was more like Nolan. Like no, I he values Viltrumite life. Like every other life is not important. So it's just like, oh, whatever, he killed him. With Mark, he's fighting against himself, and he also has a lot of trauma going on. Like last season, what did we see? We see him fight alternate universe version of himself that Angstrom Levy brings over, and he sees what he could become, right?
Yeah.
He could become more like Nolan, he becomes a psychopath or whatever, because he's killing, right? He just doesn't care. So he's thinking about all that, but at the same time, you have guys like Angstrom Levy that he let live, and then look how worse that outcome was. So now he's like, no, I have to just kill him right off the bat, not have this guilt, not have people get injured. Like he could kill 10,000 more people if I let him live. So that's what he's thinking with dinosaurs and all that stuff, and it's weighing on him. We see the Viltrumite; they don't give a shit, right? Even with each other, they don't care. Like it's nuts, right? And I definitely want to talk about that part some more.
Yeah, we'll get to that. And yes, one thing to remember. Angstrom himself said, hey, most versions of you, Mark, from other dimensions, they're evil. It's like very few are actually good. So that's obviously weighing on Mark. It's like, oh, shit, there's a great possibility I turn out to be the bad guy here. It's great stuff. Again, this is why this comic and the show is so good. It's just like we take the traditional superhero stuff and just turn it on its head. Fucking awesome. So, yeah, before we move on to some of the other characters, this is specifically for Carlos and Dana. Dana, I'll start with you first. What did you think when Mark killed the astronaut, Russ, when he just did it?
Kind of already, it was something that it kind of needed to be done compared to before. So I think that he is finding kind of, there is that moral gray line. And I think this is when two different worlds can live in the same person. When, yes, you have to kill when it's a necessity. You don't always have to kill. So with that, it was like a weird, like, yay, because it's something we've never seen before. But in terms of how the story itself is going since from season 1 to now, it's refreshing to see him embrace that. I just hope that he keeps that in control and it doesn't become like this was the moment when he started to become, the killer. But my thing is more about what will happen with the brother. Because remember, the brother was like, we originally thought, oh, he's going to be the crazy killer. When he sees that Mark is no longer holding back, what does that mean for him? I don't think he's going to be the moral, let's see if it works out, maybe not kill this one, but kill that one instead. I think that he's going to be more of like, let's just kill everybody. Because one, you can get rid of people that you don't have that repeat of it coming back again with that threat. And also, could maybe have a little bit of like a spark to him when he starts killing people.
Yeah. Carlos, I go to you next, but I want to jump on something you said, Dana, because even the Guardians are like, actually, excuse me, Rex. We're calling him Rex now, Robot. He's like, why are we letting some of these villains live? Every time we let these people live, they keep coming back. So even he's echoing what Mark is, but he's coming at it from a more logical standpoint, So I just want you guys to put a pin in that specifically.
Yeah. Well, there's also another pin too, right? And where if you even felt bad for Russ Livingston getting his head blown up by Mark, it only 20 minutes later, Rex goes back to Guardian headquarters. He's gonna take a shower because he's been in the sewers, and what happens?
Yeah,
he pukes up a sequid, right? Which is the whole point, that they had to contain them, and one gets away, it's over, right? It's a plague. He didn't even know he had it, right? Russ Livingston has been infected for weeks or months or however long the sequids were breeding underground, right? Ready to burst out. So I don't think even if he got the disruptor to him, there's a possibility you would not have cured him. right? So
That's true.
that kind of diffused it a little bit. Like that's the problem. While I was watching it, you have that knowledge. Like I don't know if Russ was so infected, he had sequins all over him, probably inside his body. If you could have even saved him. So
Oh, that's a
yeah,
good point. How many were inside of him? But yeah, Carlos, man, what do you think of when Mark just fucking killed Russ Livingston?
So the first thing that I was thinking about was, because remember, was it Bulletproof that was flying to him with
Yeah.
the little device thing?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Yo, Mark, just fly to him. It'll get you'll get there quicker. Just take the dude with you. Take
Yeah.
Russ with you."
Well, Russ
But
ain't gonna go nowhere. He's
oh
chilling.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's a
probably
good point.
couldn't,
Fly to
yeah.
him. Yeah,
I
Carlos,
was like,
were you thinking about Man of Steel? You know, it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
gotta kill Zod.
You got to do it. Got to turn his head around. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where they're doing it with they're giving him a scarlet letter now because of because of this, and it's like it's only to Mark though, like because he's super powerful and his dad is who he is, where it's like everyone looks at him differently for what he did, even though a lot of the Guardians would said that he did the right thing and they would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's just going to be another tension builder between Mark and the rest of humanity. Because I mean, even with the evil Marks, we've already seen everyone hates him because of the people who invaded the Earth, this Earth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's you got to do what you got to do, and like Chris mentioned, we don't know what the hell is going to happen with Russ. We don't know if everything was still intact, even if the thing came out. Because he's been infected or been controlled for years or for
He was patient
months.
He was
zero.
there, yeah. You know how
Yep.
many of those things were up his ass? Like
right?
where did they crawl up, bro?
All the orifices.
All the orifices got filled by those things, So
Yeah.
that's a great point, man. And then Carlos, to your point, like, because remember the first episode started with like a montage of like, kind of the grind of being a superhero. But you notice that almost every single ending shot, even though Mark saved people, they were looking at him like, yo, like we remember that Invincible War, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Mark is figuring out that he can't let all the enemies be live because they'll just kill more people, and especially kill more people that he loves.
Yeah.
And that's sort of becoming, I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but like a cheat where it's like, oh, this is a way to get from point A to point B to save my family is to kill them. But that can easily become sort of my de facto or my it becomes nurture at this point where that's the only way that I can resolve things. And maybe he'll be headstrong about that type of stuff and create even more tensions between him and the rest of humanity. And I'm curious to see when Nolan comes back. Nolan is a good boy now. He's apologizing.
He's a good boy.
He's saying sorry and stuff. So when he comes back, he's like, "Damn, Mark, what happened to you?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's right. They're like changing trajectories. And you know what? Segway Kings. That's the next thing we got to talk about. We got to talk about Nolan, man, because very interesting. Going back, yes, that introductory scene of episode 2. Okay, so obviously he's telling Alan the alien all this stuff, right? In the comics, it was just they're sitting down together, and it's just this long fucking text wall, like, "Hey, this is what happened." You got some little flashbacks, but I was honestly confused at first because I'm like, "Who is this fake Mark? What the fuck is going on here?" Because that never happened. That was not in a comic, but I'm glad they took what was in the comic and made it more visual, which is funny. My comics are also visual medium, but they made it more cinematic. So, we got to learn about Argal, I think his name is, the former emperor of the Viltrumites and how he was murdered by quote unquote the betrayer. And it caused they caused the Great Purge. They had this big battle. They fought each other, and it kind of showed you like how Viltrumites think, like they're very Darwinist, right? Survival of the fittest and all that. And then obviously when the plague happens, this great scourge, they're still like, hey, listen, only the strong will survive this shit, which is very interesting. But yeah, I want to talk about that. Just that introductory scene, because this has been the most time we've ever spent on Viltrum itself at the height of its glory, So Carlos, what do you think of Viltrum and Nolan's backstory and all that?
Yeah, I agree with the fake Mark stuff. I'm like, who's what? This looks like Mark. Like
Yeah.
maybe they just all look the same, you know. But no, it was like, nah, he definitely does look like Mark. Maybe I'm pretty sure it's like either his grandparents, because I thought it was his grandparent at the time, but it's like, oh no, it's obviously Nolan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that scene with the kids where it's like,
That was crazy.
yeah, I was like, you guys, whoever survives, gets out. And yeah, I like the way that they did it. I like the way that they set up the destroyer and the former leader. And yeah, that scene where where Nolan gets into the ship and then the dude just starts bleeding. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because what I was thinking, because these people are recently sort of, I guess upgraded to in the social status or
Yeah.
of surviving. So I thought, oh, maybe they just couldn't hack it because they couldn't survive the wounds that they received to even get to that point. Maybe that it came back to haunt them, but it turned out to be something even more crazier.
Yeah. I mean, they even made fun of him. It was like, oh, did your parents beat you up too much? But no, there was that one scene where, he's talking to the little kids and he asked the one girl, like, oh, why did that happen? Then he like grabs the back of her head. Like, if she got the wrong answer, would have crushed her right there,
Yeah, because it seems like you've already tried to instill the core beliefs of the race. So if you got it wrong there, it's like, well, you definitely don't get it.
Yeah.
And I like the way that they said it's like, well, they killed the leader, and it's like, but that was a good thing because it made us stronger.
Yeah. They have that very specific mindset. Dana, what do you think of the whole Viltrum part?
It's a cult. No, I loved how they showed the origin of this, and we get to see, when you say, oh, there was a great war and a great battle, it's not the same as actually visualizing how brutal it really is. So to be able to see that and to know that even the kids, they weren't protected from harm. They were themselves could have been killed at any moment. It was really great to see. So I did like that aspect. I like the aspect of, only the strongest survives, but in the same token, not to be, humanistic, people can survive with different metrics, and it really didn't seem to touch upon that it was only just by sheer strength. So I thought that was a very interesting aspect and kind of made me question. So remember in the very first episode, not the first episode, but episode 1, season 1, season 4, we had the floating Viltrumites. That is connected to the fight.
Yeah.
Or was that connected to the Scorch?
Wait, what do you mean? Say that? Ask that again, please.
Okay, so remember in episode 1, season 4, what we just talked about?
Yes,
remember there was the floating bodies?
Yeah.
Yes. Remember the floating bodies? That is connected to what's going on in episode 2.
Oh yeah. The ring of bodies around the planet.
Yeah.
They put them there purposely.
Yeah, that's that was the victims of the scourge virus.
Yeah.
I would wondered if they use that as like an example for other, I don't know, alien beings seeing, like, hey, this is how powerful we are now. These are the weak that we got rid of. Or was that just, get them out the planet?
I think it was to show, because I don't think other aliens go to Viltrum willingly, right? They get brought there. And remember, they don't want other aliens to know that they're all dead. I think it's a reminder to themselves, like, these are the weak ones we just got rid of. It's not really for other aliens, it's for themselves. Even though it's like, there's only 50 of you motherfuckers now, bro. It's crazy. But yeah. Chris, what do you think of that scene? Obviously, like me, it's like, wait, what's going on here? This wasn't in the book.
Yeah. Seeing more of Viltrum and that story expanded was great because in the comic it was just him expounding to Alan that stuff, what happened, and the shots in the panels. I remember the bodies, right?
Yeah,
it
I
goes
do
right
remember
to
that.
them dumping the dead outside in space, and so you don't see all that stuff. And it was brilliant because in the visuals they just show how brutal they are. Like one slave race is lifting some boxes, and one of them gets exhausted, and they just kill him right away, just punch him. Like, they don't give a shit. And then Nolan reaches adulthood, so his parents show up, and they have a knockout, drag out fight. Like, his mother's beating the
Brutal.
shit out of him almost to death. He stabs her in the eye. I'm like, God damn. And then
then she calls his father soft.
yeah, right? I'm like, yo, did you just get divorced because you showed mercy? Like, God, that's how brutal they are. So yeah, that was great. I thought that was a well done scene, and you see what shapes them, right? Like, so you can understand where the Viltrums are coming from, even though they're the bad guys, right? Like clearly, but like their culture is so like fucking brutal. It just puts it's not put everyone else to shame, but you understand why Mark has the dilemma he does, and other people can't understand what Omni-Man did. But we see all this stuff, and then we understand, like, yeah, he had this mission. His people are way more brutal than he was. Like another guy like Conquest or something in the same position would not have hesitated to ransack the earth like in a second.
That's
So
right.
it's nuts.
And I just thought about this now. That compassion, quote unquote, Nolan has, looks like it came from his dad. Because his dad was like,
dad
hey,
showed him mercy. Yeah.
That's a great addition. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why it's good to have this show as is. Like, you can expand on some of the things you just alluded to in the books, without completely changing everything. But yeah, that compassion came from his father. So it's like and then obviously Mark has compassion as well. So it runs in the family. That's a great thing. And I really like the scene of, the whole race dying, because there was no words. It was just Nolan got the sickness as well, but he recovered, and then he just saw the death, and the colors they used, that kind of green like hue to it. So well done, man. I'm really glad they had expanded scene. Then obviously it ends with Mark with Alan and Nolan together. It's like, yo, did you just make me cry for Viltrum? Alan, man. I do want to go ahead, Dana. Go ahead.
Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, I muted. So then, if he got that compassion from his father, Nolan got that compassion from his father.
That's what it seems like.
Then that means it never came from the humans when he came on Earth. So that kind of voids the season one explanation.
Not really void. It maybe it
exacerbates.
Yes, being around the humans allowed him to unlock what was already there. So I don't think it is negated. You know what I mean?
Right, but here's the thing, though. If he was like full Viltrumite, kill everybody mindset, the moment he entered into Earth, I think he would have just decimated the place right away.
Really, remember,
but because of that passion,
he
was on a mission, though.
He was. Remember, we learned
why he was on a mission, but
remember why he was really on Earth.
Yeah,
he wasn't there to conquer. He was there to breed.
Yeah, he was there to see if he could make more Viltrumites, basically, right? That's what you find out.
I would have seen him but you can do that, but also have how people have those two identities where, for example, you're married to someone and you don't know that he is a serial killer or a psychopath. All you know is that married person, which is what we had in season one. I really wondered why they didn't show, for example, Nolan off sideway, killing some random person in order to get that Viltrumite kind of mindset out for a moment or two.
Well,
because he couldn't help it.
Yeah, he did kill aliens and villains and stuff. So,
okay.
Yeah, so he did.
But they were marked as villains and aliens. I meant like actual innocent people.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need to show that. It's not really necessary, But I see what you mean, though. Yeah, I see what you mean, though. But I think had he not gone to Earth, that compassion would not have come out. Yeah. It was humans already unlocked.
And there's another example of that we'll probably see in later episodes or seasons. There's another Viltrumite character. I won't get into that.
We'll get into it. There's levels. We're not no spoilers here. This is a spoiler cast, but we don't spoil upcoming shit. Yeah. We just spoil what happened in particular episodes. We had the fun. By the way, that whole scene with Alan and Nolan going around the universe and stuff, finding the weapons. Like you had the space racer, the Ragnars. I'm forgetting the name of the race, but basically the tech jacket people. That was all fun. And I love how in two specific instances, the aliens stopped attacking when Nolan said, "I'm sorry," because they're like, "Wait, the fuck? Yeah, is that somebody apologizing?" Like I love how they throw somebody like, "Wait, whoa." Okay, well, go ahead and keep talking then. That was great. And their camaraderie is just so much fun because you got to remember, they didn't just meet in the space adventure. They've known each other for years. Every time Alan would show up to Earth and Nolan would beat his ass, like they've known each other for a while, you know. But Nolan just thought he was a threat, you know. But yeah, and then Chris, obviously, the fucking Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh my god, the TNG spoof with the Venture, yeah, that was in the comic too, and they just made a purple Captain Picard, and he's an idiot.
Download instead
of data.
You know?
Well, it started with the music because
Yeah.
I was listening and I was like, "Oh, this sounds familiar." I was like, "It's kind of Star Trek."
I love it. It was just like Kirkman ripping on Star Trek. Basically.
Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah. Carlos, you could expand on that. What do you think? Because that was probably your favorite scene of that whole episode. You know, just Alan and Nolan getting into wild adventures.
Yeah, man, and it's like the funniest part is like, you know, he's like, "Oh, you know, I can put you all in the same room." Is like,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll sleep in the couch. You know, I've gone through worse. It was like,
and they're fucking every night.
Yeah, they kept putting that scene.
A little funny aside, in the comic, that the thing with him with the pillows on the couch was because Alan and his girl were fighting every night. They were arguing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they changed it. Yeah.
They changed it.
But it was the same kind of deal. It was like
yeah,
you know,
he's covering his ears.
Yeah. And then later on, we found out, the ship's basically empty. You could have slept wherever you wanted. You know, Captain Picard fucking up. And then he's like, oh, destroy. It's like, no, move it. Don't destroy the fucking solar array. That was
well, he wanted to atone for his ignorance. He's like,
but he made things worse.
Yeah, I know.
Then Alan's girlfriend is like, okay, that's it. I'm taking over ship. Like, is that even allowed? Like,
yeah, she just does
mutiny.
Just mutiny. And then like, this is mutiny, it's not a mutiny. And then everybody's like, you want me to take over ship? And everybody's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, now it's a mutiny. Yeah, that was fun. And nice balance to the beginning of that episode with that brutality, you know, because I was like, yo, this is heavy shit. You know, seeing all the Viltrumites die, you know, but you know, and then obviously, you know, then we got the big reveal, Thaddeus, right? He not only is he the betrayer, but he's also the one that released the Scourge virus.
He made it, yeah.
He made it, yeah. And I love what Thaddeus said. He goes, I gave you guys a chance to change your ways when I killed the Emperor, and you didn't. You kept going. Then I released this other thing to help you change your ways, and you still kept going. You know, so it kind of brings those feelings of like, this is a race that may not have that many redeeming values, but at the same time, you have people like Thaddeus and Nolan who show you that not all Viltrumites are like that. And I also love the fight Nolan has within himself. He knows his people are dangerous, right? He wants to save the universe from them, but he also doesn't want them to die completely, you know, because they're his people. I love that. He's wrestling with it. It's like, I need to stop them, but I don't want to kill them. There's only 50 of us left. It's great.
He knows because of Thaddeus, there's something redemptive about them. Like the Purge wasn't about weakness. The Purge was getting rid of the compassionate Viltrumites, the ones that didn't go along with all the other shit that they worship now, right?
Yeah.
Their whole culture is based on brutality and complete loyalty and fealty, and that they're superior. So Thaddeus was like against all of that, right? And then he couldn't, like, he killed Argyle. That didn't stop it. So he's like, I got to make the Scourge, man. That they're fucking up the galaxy, and that wasn't enough.
And now he has that backup Scourge.
Yo, he's like, I got new and improved Scourge. It'll kill me.
This is the new Coke version, right, Carlos?
Scourge 2.0.
Yeah. What do you think of Thaddeus, bro? That whole reveal and everything.
Yeah, and I like the way that he set it up, because he's like, I need Nolan to be on my side, and he, purposely showed him the new serum to be like, hey, motherfucker, you better get in line. It's kind of like blackmail in a way.
Oh shit, that's a good point. You know. So, by the way, I cracked up, and he's like, "Yo, don't make me take off my beard again, man." Oh man,
I believe you.
You know, we'll go on to the next character next. But yeah, Dana, I want to get your thoughts on Thaddeus and the whole review of that. He was the betrayer and the creator of the Scourge. What do you think of that?
I thought it was a good reveal. You know, again, we originally thought, you know, you're not strong enough. So here we have someone who is actually, this goes with my intellect. theory. I like the fact that he's able to create this, and he has a backup, probably for the backup. So that way, I'm just wondering, is there a way for him to be protected, or he just doesn't care at all? He is definitely trying to get his point across.
Yeah,
no
well,
matter
you notice
what.
what he said. He says, I'm going to make sure I die along with them. So our scourge is just gone, like he plans to die with the Viltrumites.
Right.
Which is pretty heavy.
So, it's very heavy, but sometimes it's a sacrifice that you see again. That goes with the sacrifice that you have to make in order to get rid of this evil.
Yes.
That I think Mark is going to suffer with. If we still keep, good guy Nolan, I am wondering if he's going to step up. Say if the scourge now, the backup scourge, somehow, doesn't work and you got another plan, is he willing to sacrifice himself in order for that to happen as well? Yeah. Now that he's a good guy and he's seeing what he's done. So I kind of like it. It puts that thought in your head to be like, hey, what we see is not always just the end goal in the plan. There's other people working at play with this. So I like it.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, the other major character we're going to talk about, and obviously we're going to get to some of the supporting cast stuff a little bit. We got to talk about Adam Eve. Because if you guys remember at the end of the last season, and I specifically had interestingly enough, no, but like Chris was the only one because he read the comics. You didn't catch this, like, hey, her powers are fucking up, right? So we're really seeing that now. Like her powers are just fucking up completely, and I love the twist, right? Because you're thinking, oh, it's because she had to regenerate herself after being fucked up by Conquest. Come to find out, homegirl's pregnant. That's why she's fucking up, This is one minor criticism I will say from the comic, at least. In the comic, they had this one, it was a full page shot of her crying, like the tears, like she was in pain because she was bringing a kid to the world. This one, it was just like a little side angle. Like obviously you can still tell she wasn't happy about it. But regardless, there was another wrench in there. It's like, oh, she's pregnant. How's Mark going to feel about this? How's he going to feel about bringing a kid to the world? And how's she going to feel about bringing a kid to this brutal world and stuff? So I'm like, woo, boy,
How do we know Mark is the baby daddy?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
On the next episode of Very Strange.
They're gonna have the Invincible version of Mario Povich. All right, Mark, you are the father.
Yeah. What if it's Rex's baby?
And now Mr. Robot's got to take care of it if it's Rex's baby.
So yeah, what you guys think of that? All that, Dana, I'll start with you. Now, and start us out with the dinner scene because that was a funny scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, the dinner scene was absolutely hilarious. I don't like the fact that she's pregnant, but it makes the most logical sense because they're always doing things in the bedroom, having the devil's tango. So obviously it was just about a matter of time. Yeah, so this does throw a wrench in everyone else's plans. Also, at the same time, Mark in a way is still raising his brother. So this would be another kid. He has two kids now.
His brother's going to be like an adult in like a month or something. So it's all good.
That is true. It's all good, but this would be an interesting, combination of powers. I'm pretty sure you guys know how the power set would work, but that would be very interesting. I am wondering if Nolan does come back and he's like nice guy. Maybe he can like step up and have a generation where it's not screwed up like he did with
Mark. Maybe.
Well, I mean.
See, your chuckling is like.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying shit.
If Nolan comes back and he hears that Mark is going to have a kid, he's like, "Oh, the plan's moving along pretty good."
Yeah. Oh shit, that's right. Hey, we're breeding. Let's go.
Remember that.
Yeah, and remember that kid is eventually going to become full Viltrumite DNA wise. Like even if it gets any powers from Eve, that's all going to be gone. It's just going to be full Viltrumite. So yeah, you're right, Carlos. The plan is going accordingly. But yeah, Carlos, what do you think of that? Not only like when you find out like, oh, that's the reason the powers are fucking up.
Yeah, because I couldn't really put two and two together. I'm like, what's going on? I'm trying to think of all these theories of why Eve's powers are going, because like you mentioned, I was thinking, well, maybe it's because of that previous fight where she had to regenerate herself. Maybe that's why. But that's the best I can come up with. And but no, it's even crazier. That's a huge monkey wrench to the whole equation of the dynamics. And I'm just thinking, yo, man, wear protection, man. This is trying times.
Now those condoms can't hold his load. They just explode right through it.
Yeah,
but it's like, pull out, bro. Shit.
You're fast enough. So it's crazy. I'm glad that they, this was the reason, because it really shocked me. I was really surprised by, what happened.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, what do you think? I mean, obviously you knew this was going to happen. What do you think of the way it was handled?
I think it was handled well. This whole reveal, the whole build up to her with the pregnancy test and everything. I agree with you that the impact was soft compared to the comic.
Yeah.
The comic, she was way more emotional over it. She was almost grieving, right?
Yeah.
She was crying almost as bad as she was crying at Rex's funeral.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So and that comes to one of the negatives I have for the writing for these 3 episodes, is that some of the impactful scenes that I think were better done in the comic were kind of soft or glossed over here. And that was one of them. One of them was the dinner scene. So you remember the conversation that Mark had with the father when they went out for cigars on the deck? And the comic was very different. It was
remind me, how did it happen again in the comic?
Oh, in the comic was the same thing. Calls him outside. Mark's like, oh, we're leaving them to do dishes. Like, oh, they're fine. Have a cigar with me. He doesn't have the cigar. Then the dad goes into basically calling his daughter a whore. And oh yeah, I'm glad you're good with her being her second, right? Like all that stuff. And like, oh, when I got with Betsy, she was, she was a virgin, and virgins. He had this disgusting conversation with Mark outside with the cigar. They probably weren't going to do that here, so they changed it. I can understand why they changed it, because it was a very different conversation they have in here. But so I didn't have a problem too much with that after I watched it. And I thought, wow, that was totally different. And I'm like, yeah, he insulted his daughter and Mark at the same time in the comic. But I'm like, okay, you can't really have that conversation. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, modern writing, they're not going to do that. But I do at least appreciate that they kept the assholeness of him. Like, this guy's a fucking dick.
Yeah, he completely is. Like, you're inviting this guy. Like, to me, like, you're going out. This guy's dating your daughter, and you're coming out to have a cigar with him. You're gonna say like, "Oh, I appreciate you." No, he just berates him. He's just like, "Oh, you almost got my daughter killed," and think about that. The next time you're with her, basically say, "Don't be with her because she almost died if she's around you, or she's gonna die if you keep being around you." The other one that I had an issue with was Conquest when he returons.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, so I thought the impact of that was very weak compared to the comic version. It was almost inverted. I found that kind of strange.
Yeah. Put a pin on that, because I want to get back to Conquest in a bit. But yeah, any last thoughts you guys have on Adam Eve?
Oh, also that shouldn't have been a post-credit scene. The pregnancy test.
Oh,
that was my problem too. The placement of that should have been earlier. But I know they wanted to save it as a cliffhanger, but it shouldn't have been a post-credit cliffhanger, right?
I agree. Yeah, it could have been. Let's just be honest. It could have been a commercial break, because this fucking show has commercials now. Yeah. It's very annoying. It's like, actually, I don't know. I'm frustrated in one way, because it's annoying because I'm paying for this service. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I get to take a piss break. Because I missed that. Like, remember when commercials used to be your piss break, make a sandwich or something? We don't get that now. Anyway, but yeah, I don't have a problem with it too much. But yeah, it needed to be like, oh shit, let's end here and then we'll move on. But yeah, let's run over some of the other characters. Obviously, we talked about Oliver. What do you guys think about the way he's evolving? Because now, remember, he was all in. I'm going to be a superhero. I'm going in fucking everybody up. Now he's like, bruh, I just want to play my video games, man. Like, can I get a fucking day off, please? It's like, but I get it. I'm like, yo, you're a kid. Let him have some fun. Like, he still obviously wants to be a good guy and stuff. But he's like, I need a break. This is too much now, you know. And I really like the scene where, you know, Art's the man, you know, makes him a new suit, and he's like, you know what? I'm owning this fucking name, bro. I'm Omni Kid. I'm making this name better, you know. So I kind of like that. It kind of goes from like, you know, because he did it to honor his father and stuff, because he still loved him, obviously. I think that's still there, but now he's just like, I want to make something better of this name, you know, and it shows his growth, you know. And then obviously later on when he's fighting the dragon, it shows his like willingness to like, I want to step up, but then at the same time, he's also not arrogant enough, because before he would have been, I'm going to fight this dragon no matter what. This and he's like, yo, I need help. Please help me out. So he's learning that not only is he becoming more independent, but also I need to rely on people as well. So I enjoy that. Like, go ahead, Dana. What do you think about Oliver's?
Mark is making him soft.
Uh-oh. Dana, I think you're a Viltrumite. Harsh woman. Carlos, what do you think of Mr. Oliver?
Yeah, I like I mentioned previously, I thought Oliver was gonna be more of the, you know, the Viltrumite of the family, but it makes sense. You know, he remembers everything. He has to adopt quickly.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, you know, a result of him adopting to his surroundings with his family, with his new family at least. So yeah, I like the way his characters progressed. I'm curious to see, because this is supposed to be his teenage years, his rebellion years. So, you know, it's probably gonna get better even after this. So
that's a good
and
point.
I like Omni Kid. I like the you know, I like the title too.
Yeah, Omni Kid, yeah. Or actually his name is Kid Omni-Man, which is hilarious. Like, it should be Omni Kid. Oh man. And then, you know, I got my notes here. By the way, man, I keep it real. I got I went to Grok last time. I'm like, yo, man, I'm gonna put these show notes together. Help me out. And obviously just pilfered every review. I'm like, oh, this is great. I got all my notes here, you know, because usually when I watch these fucking shows, like I did last night, I'm constantly with my phone here, fucking writing everything. I'm missing half the shit. Now I just got my notes here, which is great. We got to talk about Cecil, and Chris, that's going to lead to Conquest. Obviously, Cecil's still doing his like shady stuff, but again, say what you will about Cecil, he's doing his thing for humanity, you know. And I really think he's at least trying to meet Mark half and half, because he kind of seemed like he was like more like do it my way or the highway in season 3. Now he's like, okay, let's work together here. You don't work for me, but I need your help, you know. But he's still doing shady shit with like D.A. Sinclair and stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I kind of that was another weak spot was the Spencer apology and the and Cecil talking to him about the death of Russ Livingston. So in their conversation in the comic was a little different with Russ, right? Because Cecil hits home that, like, you know, kid, when you make those kinds of decisions, you did something I would have done. And Cecil flat out tells him, I would have killed Russ if I was in your shoes, right? Yeah. But he's like, look, making that kind of decision changes you. He's like, look at me. I'm not as old as you think I am, right? He's like, these decisions really fuck you up. Right. So he's like, work with me. Let me make those decisions for you. Don't fly up there and just kill people. Right. That was what Cecil was hitting home in the comic. Yeah, I felt that message was lost. He was just kind of like, oh, you know, you killed him and Russ is a hero and all this. I don't know. The way they changed it, I don't think had the same impact as the original writing did. So I was a little disappointed in that. And also Cecil did something in the comic which was very like him, which was in here, he wanted Spencer to leave, right? He wanted him to cover up the Anti-Man, leave, like Donald tells him to go to lunch or something, like disappear.
Oh, Sinclair, yeah.
Yeah, Sinclair. Sorry, I keep calling Spencer. I'm thinking of Resident Evil. So he wants him gone. So while Mark's there, he doesn't have an interaction with him. In the comic, he very much takes him to that lab. He just has to cover up the Anti-Man. And it's so Spencer can show him that he's reformed, right? So that's how the apology goes down. And here it's kind of like Sinclair, excuse me, goes there on purpose, defying Donald's orders, and then tells him like, "Look, I regret everything I did to your friends. I regret, showing him his reform." Like Mark doesn't want to hear it, but it was still, I did like the outcome of that, but I feel like the way Cecil would have done it was how he did it in the comic. Like he would have manipulated that situation so that they meet. Right? That's how he did it then. Here it was just like, "Hey, Sinclair, I told you to fuck off, and now you're still here talking. Like, why are you here?" Right? That was very unlike him.
Yeah. Although I did like that scene of Donald, like, "Yo, get rid of this shit, Mark there, bro. Yo, he's right there. Get rid of this shit. Go take lunch, bitch." Carlos, what do you think of the whole, Cecil and like, I guess Cecil and Mark's kind of changed relationship?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And it's funny because Chris mentioned his what he didn't like about that, but what was missing about that, and I felt like I got it from that scene, because he said, he's like, "Yeah, it's like I'm not as old as I look, and it's because I have to make all of these decisions." And Mark, I don't want you to bear all that weight. Let me make those decisions for you.
He's actually specifically says, "Let me make those decisions so you could sleep at night." He specifically says that. So Chris, I kind of slightly disagree with you on that one. I'm like, we kind of got it here. It may not have been as successful, but we got it. He flat out says, "Let me make those decisions so you could sleep at night and leave all that bad shit to me." All
right. Maybe I was getting confused.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, and I'm glad we have other perspectives, because
That's it.
maybe I'm judging it too strictly. But okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Carlos. Continue your point. Then Dana, we get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, and I Cecil, I like Cecil, man.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. I mean, he's pretty cutthroat.
Good guy.
Wow.
Very controversial.
He makes a lot of controversial decisions, including the dumb one, which I said from last season. I'm like, don't keep Conquest. What are you doing? This is gonna backfire
everyone in the ass.
Yeah, it's like Cecil, I understand you're trying to get everything you can to protect Earth, but sometimes, man, you just this is too much. This is too much.
To make it.
But I enjoyed that scene. The what's it called? I was gonna call him Spencer too. It's like the
Chris
Sinclair,
is fucking us up.
I tainted everyone.
The Sinclair scene.
The Sinclair part, I actually like that. It's like he's trying to reform too.
Yeah. So it's and shout out to Donald, man. That dude.
Yeah. That scene was just funny. Yo, get that shit out of here. Man. It's like if your parents are like, "Yo, the parents are back. Get rid of the fucking weed. Flush that shit down the toilet." But yeah, Dana, what do you think of Cecil, the way he's reacting to Mark now?
I viewed it completely differently. When he did that whole, "I love you, I'm not as old as I look" speech, that's a way of controlling Mark by making him think there's a sense of comfort within him.
You're not buying it.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just like, "Oh, that's really smart. That's how you get on someone's good side." Meanwhile, Cecil has all the control. He's making all of the decisions. And Mark, now that he has with this impending pregnancy, I feel that he's going to end up relying more on Cecil because of that. So, and I don't know how fast the birth rate is going to go, because the child is part of him.
He's not a bug, so it's still normal 9 months,
And it's not an
Okay.
Again, sometimes, like, basically, I will only reveal story stuff when I don't want you guys going down weird rabbit holes. It's a normal 9-month pregnancy.
Okay, so he still needs that off of his shoulders for a moment, so that he can concentrate on Eve, who I'm hoping is going through it. Obviously, as you guys stated, not as drastic as in the comics, but he still needs that moment to be with her. Yeah. He now is like, "Oh, I can trust Cecil," even though there's a lot of mistrust from what he did from season 3. But by making that whole monologue, "I can trust you. Look, he wants to bear the weight. He's here to help." Meanwhile, he's going to just do things that he wants to do without him being Mark stopping him.
Yeah, I mean, this is Cecil.
So
He's
that's
a
my
very
thought.
manipulative man. Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah,
you have a good point.
And Dana, yeah, I totally agree with you. Although I don't think that Cecil is lying about what he's saying.
No.
It's just he always does it in a way where like he does have those secondary and tertiary factors that
Yes.
Yeah, well, he has to, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Even when he's being honest, he's still thinking, how is this going to benefit the rest of the world? Because remember, he's not really thinking about for himself. He's not a selfish guy. He is thinking about the greater good, even if that means a very bad things,
And-
you know?
And like we said, he has changed because remember the conversation he has with Rex when he's getting the Guardians back together and he puts Brit in charge.
Yeah.
And what does Rex say? Rex debates him like, no, I should be in charge because we need a more strategic kind of like leadership going on. And he old Cecil would have been like, no, fuck you. I'm calling the shots here. Brit's in charge. That's the end of the story, right? No, what does he do? He turns it back on him. He's like, you're the one that left. The trust is broken. You work with me, you gain that trust back, then talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. He
That
left
was
the door. Maybe Cecil's learning too. It's like, let me just give a little bit, just a little bit. Because you're right. He says, he's like, yo, you fucked up. There's consequences of what you did. We could talk later. I'm like,
but
okay.
then again, it's not like it's not like Cecil's just being a nice guy. It's like, yo, Brit is a year away from Social Security. We need
fucking AARP card and shit. Oh man. Oh, okay. Chris, you were already hinting at it. We got to talk about Conquest because Cecil kept him alive, and I love when Conquest comes through. He's like, yo. This kid left me alive? That was stupid. But he just says it so nonchalantly, and obviously he breaks off, goes back to the Viltrum homeworld, and actually, we'll get to that because we saw a different side of Conquest when he got back home. He was made into a bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris, what didn't work for you with Conquest?
It was the second part. The first part was great. Like, I still don't know how Chris Angeled his way out of that facility without setting off every nuke in there. Because remember how Cecil had that shit set up.
Right.
He's like, I got 80 warheads in here. If he even twitches his mustache, they'll go off, right? He sank that place and popped out of there in 2 fucking seconds and not a thing happened.
Yeah.
Right, which was crazy. I still don't know how he did that. It was amazing. Then he goes back. So what I had an issue with was his interaction with Thrag. So he, the guy, the same thing happens. He comes in, he's apologizing. The guy smacks him, tells him to get on his knees, and he says, I begged for death. I failed. The kid, I underestimated him, played with him too much, whatever. So a lot of it was similar. What was different was Thrag's responses to him. So in the comic, he begged for his life. He didn't say he was ready for death. He wanted to redeem himself, so he begged to live. He's like, Regent, I played with him, whatever. Allow me to live and redeem myself and go back and, and take Earth, right? And Thrag calls him an animal. He's like, you're a filthy animal. He berates him. He's like, you're lowly. You don't even have a name. We just call you Conquest. You're not even worthy of a Viltrumite name. Like, just rips him apart, just like he's nothing, right? And then tells him, like, no, I won't kill you. I need you to do something for me, and if you fail, then I'll kill you, right?
Yeah.
So it was like much harsher, much more impactful. They cut it down here to where Thrag just tells him, like, no, you won't die today. I need you, right? And I was like, that doesn't. I feel like that. The way Thrag talked to him in there set up who Thrag was, right? In just a small speech in the comic, like, who the fuck this guy is. Like, no fucks to give, doesn't even care about his own people. One of his right-hand men, and then Nolan hits you, there's only 50 of them, maybe less because of the Scourge, and he's still talking to him like he's dog shit, right? So that was, I think that impact was lost in here. Like, you don't know who Thrag is yet. And maybe that was on purpose. Maybe they don't want you to know too much about him, so they cut back that speech. So I can understand it, but I was like, man, it lost that impact because he rips Conquest down. He completely tears him down and then says, no, you won't die today because I need you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because it answers the question. Why is this guy called Conquest? Like, what the fuck? You know, and yeah, but maybe later on we'll get that scene because that is a really good scene. But I regardless, I still liked Thrag in this, you know, and I think, and I'll keep Thrag, son. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say, Thrag. You know, and that's especially for Richard, but we'll save that. You know,
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, but yeah, Carlos, go ahead, man. What do you think of Conquest escaping and all that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the previous season, I'm like, yeah, this is not going to work out well. He's not going to be there for long. So yeah, I was expecting that, and I do. And when he went back to Viltrum, I do like, you know, what Chris mentioned with the comic. I was like, oh, that sounds even better. The way that you know Thrag handled him. Because in this episode, it did seem a little bit more desperate. It's like, oh, like, you know, we need you instead of more cutthroat. Yeah. Even though the desperation might still be there, but it just came out more, you know, outwardly desperate the way Thrag handled this.
I want to throw this in here because again, I didn't remember the original comic speech so much, but what I didn't like was Conquest specifically said, "Kill me." I'm like, who are you to tell the Emperor that shit? You know, you got to be more reverential, motherfucker. You know. But I did like how he got bitch slapped by the guy with the eye. You're like, oh shit, you know. It's like, you think Conquest is bad? These guys are harder, you know. But yeah, I just didn't like that specific line where he's like, oh, please kill me. I'm like, you don't beg, bro. You know, you don't tell him what you do. But you know, I agree with you, Chris, but at the same time, we'll have plenty of opportunities to see what Thrag's all about. You know,
I can understand why they did it. They want you to experience Thrag, and in the comic, they just kind of threw it out there, just like, this is who this guy is.
Yeah, but it also shows you what the Viltrumites think of Conquest. Like, oh, he's just a fucking animal.
Yeah,
and these are the Viltrumites saying this shit. Yeah. They think you're an animal. Something's wrong with you. Oh, I also, Dan, I'll go to you next. But I also like the part where, because when I first met Conquest, even the comics, like, wait, how the hell does a Viltrumite have a robot arm and all this other shit? What the fuck? That's weird. I'm like, are they supposed to be hard warriors? Then you find out about the Ragnars. Like, oh, that's why. Not only are the Ragnars hardcore, but he was already weakened from surviving the Scourge. You know, so that's why they were able to scar him up and everything. And that's how Homeboy lost his eye as well. But yeah, Dana, what do you think of a Conquest, you know, escaping and going back to Viltrum?
No, I absolutely love the idea. I'm kind of wondering, is he not really the big main threat, though?
He's not.
I know Conquest. That's what I was saying. It was like, oh, I think that it's a way to kind of divert us from what Thrag is actually going to do. The name Conquest, I think that is something that maybe in the future is going to have more of a meaning. Well, he hasn't conquested. He hasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just saying maybe they'll finally say it in the shows like we call it Holy Conquest because you're not even worthy of having a name. I think they'll have to bring that up.
Yeah. So I'm kind of wondering there. You have Thrag, who's going to be obviously the actual threat, and then Conquest, hopefully, maybe is someone who defines his name as Conquest, and you know, it's not a throwaway name or something. We don't even like you. We're going to just call you Conquest. So right now, I think that he is obviously being used as a tool for Cecil until maybe Conquest, he gets sick of it. And I think going back to the Viltrumites, I don't know. I think this might be the big showdown soon, maybe.
Wait, what do you mean, Cecil? Like, what does Cecil have to do with this?
Because remember how we had the conversation about, you know, what is Cecil's actual plans?
Yeah, but
so I'm just wondering.
You think he's in league with Conquest, or vice versa? Is that what you're hinting at?
I don't think that he is right now. I'm just kind of wondering future what it could be, because to me, Cecil, I can't trust him. I'm just kind of, maybe I'm just thinking too much and too broad.
I think you might be. Yeah, because I'm like, Conquest just left on his own. Like, he's not even, you're overthinking it. But it's okay. That's what we like.
And I think that, it's okay. I overthink. It's all right. Dana, I do think that it's not,
I get what you're saying. I mean, how you feel about Cecil is how I feel about the real estate guy. I don't trust him.
We'll talk about him, you know. But yeah, again, Segway Kings, you know, we had some moments of Debbie, you know, she's really trying to go out on her own. She's like really like accepted Paul into her life, and the kids are too. But Carlos, I know you don't trust him. You know.
I don't like the cut of his jib, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think, Carlos, of Debbie's continuing journey of kind of letting go of the past? And even the whole scene where she's like, "Oh, am I gonna sell my home?" Like, all this shit.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with Debbie. She's going through a transition period, with Homeboy here, and with a family. Everyone's getting older. Mark is going to be a dad, and Oliver is going to be an adult before the night is over, and everything's just going to change so quickly. But she's making that transition, and all I can think about is Nolan is just around the corner.
Yeah.
He's going to show up eventually. So that dynamic is what what has me intrigued. Also, I want to bring this up before I forget. It might not even be related to this, but and since it's 3 episodes and I binged them as well, I've kind of forgot which part of the episode this was, but there's talks about a mole or a spy.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't remember where was it, between the Guardians or where was this?
In the Coalition of Planets.
Oh yes. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So just making sure like where that was. Okay, yeah. So yeah, and going back to Debbie, we'll see what happens when Nolan is back. We'll see what happens when Mark becomes a dad. If we'll see about that. But yeah, the real estate guy, that guy, I'm pretty sure he's the Mark. He did something wrong.
He's a Mark. Maybe he's the mole.
Yeah, he's the mole. I'm pretty sure he is.
Man. So I know this episode's running a little bit longer, but we kind of have those 3 fucking episodes we're covering. A couple of things I wanted to bring up. The Flaxons, right? Here they come again. The fucking Flaxons invading. And that was interesting because we saw how they stopped this invasion. Like basically, Monster Girl and Robot are now stuck in that dimension. So put a pin in that as well, because that's not going to be the end of it, and and how that ties into Rex going, hey, I need to be in charge of shit, bro. And you saw him looking at that army. He's like, Right? So keep that in mind. Go ahead, bro.
When Rex Robot said we need to go in, everyone just followed suit. Like he was the leader. Even Homeboy, ARP,
even Brit.
Everyone. Yeah, he was like, "Yo, let's go." And Carlos, I'm glad you bring it up because you saw at the beginning in episode 1. Wait, is his name Brick or Bricks? Like Brit? Like what the fuck is his name?
I always called him Brit.
Yeah, Brit. Yeah, but I'm like, why you call Brit? You don't have a British accent.
Yeah,
I think in the comics when I read him with a British accent. But anyway. But I like how at the beginning of the episode, Brit was like, "I'm the fucking leader," and then by then it's like, "Yo, follow him." So it shows the respect right there. But yeah, put a pin in that. Obviously, put a pin in her name, the green woman with the electricity. Her name is Universa.
Yeah.
Put a pin in that as well.
Her voice sounds familiar. Did anyone see who it was?
I don't know who it was, but her voice does sound familiar. Do you know who it is, Dana?
It's Diana Guerrera, the one from Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead.
What it is? Okay, yeah.
Black Panther, yeah.
Yeah. But again, what's fun about Universal, again, it's like typical comic book trope. Because if there was a regular comic book villain, I'm here to steal all your energy. Yes, she is, because she needs it for her people. It's like, oh, I like that. And I also like the part where Eve is like, okay, my powers are fucking up. I should have punched this bitch. Listen, sometimes a good punch will just save the day.
Yeah, I mean, one punch girl. The whole thing with her, I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, I need all your energy. It's like it can either be 2 things: either she's trying to save her people, or she's trying to start up a data center somewhere.
All your data centers belong to us. Shit like that. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we start wrapping up here from the 3 episodes? Anything that you really liked, disliked, and all that good jazz?
The banter between Alan and Nolan is top notch, man.
Yeah,
I really like every time they have a scene together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like because each of those when they're going around after they get Racer and they go to Ragnar and stuff. All of that too was, I think, one panel. Each thing was like them
Yeah.
visiting a world, and Nolan's like, "Oh, I did too good a job here." When you went to that planet, that's like a desert.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I did too
Holes
good here.
everywhere. Yeah, it's like, "Oh, I pushed it too close to the sun." Oh shit!
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ragnar fight was really good. They expanded that. They got all.
I want to add this. I love how, and I almost forgot this for a second, right? Because they're trying to fly away from the Ragnards, but they're flying
The
slow.
gravity, yeah.
It's because the gravity is so heavy,
Yeah.
you know. But the Ragnar's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like that was great. But yeah, you're right. That was all like one panel, but it with the fucking space racer. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, buried him here 100 years ago. No way he's alive.
My man was just chilling
out there. I love it, and that was the most comic book thing ever. He is like the most cliche thing. He's space racing. He's a kind of a motorcycle response to his thoughts, and his gun is called the Infinity Ray.
Yes, that is so comic book. I love it. Yeah. So anyway, anything else you guys want to say before we start wrapping it up?
I just look forward to seeing how everything plays out, man.
Yeah. So yeah, next week obviously we're going to be back on schedule, one episode each. So we'll get into it, and yeah, there's going to be another crazy season. So strap yourselves in, man. Actually, as I always like to do, and Chris, you and I are excluded from this one, obviously. What do you hope to see for the rest of the season? Dane, I'll start with you.
Well, we have him, Mark, grappling with being a father, and the choices that he makes is now going to impact others. So does that mean that he changes the way how he is, and he doesn't want to be his father, but at the same time he loves his father, and it's still a part of him. So kind of still playing within those two worlds, and then Eve as a mother, how does that change her dynamic in general? So that should be a lot of fun to explore. And then with with Nolan coming back, what's going on there? I don't trust him still.
All right, fair enough. And Carlos, I'm going to answer for you. You're waiting for Paul to be revealed as the main bad guy of the entire series.
I just don't understand how someone can reject, pancakes like that. Like it's, those after sex pancakes. They're the best. I don't know. I don't trust them. Here's the thing with Mark. I wonder what he's gonna be like with now that this situation is going around with the pregnancy, because we talked at the very beginning about how Mark is transforming more coldly in terms of killing people. So I wonder how this dynamic affects him. And also I just and maybe I thought this was going to happen at the very beginning of this season, but maybe we're still going to have to wait. But the Nolan Mark reunion, and with Omni Kid, and more importantly with Debbie. Yeah, I just want to see what happens. I'm really looking forward to that stuff.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm going to spoil things for you guys. When Omni-Man comes back, that's when Paul reveals himself, man. That's when the big fight happens.
I knew
it. All right, man. Good stuff. Yeah, no, I'm ready for the season, man. Again, the great serious, as Richard would say. Oh, I'll add that in for Rich. He is looking forward to what happens with Battle Beast, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, let's start wrapping up, but we'll do a couple of plugs here. Dana, what's coming up on the Koalition? What are you working on?
And we are working on an entire season 2 of Daredevil, which I have seen. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but when I can, we're working on Daredevil, and we're working on other Marvel and Disney projects as well. So yay!
All right, good stuff. And then obviously you can catch me, Carlos, Chris, and Richard on the Throwdown every Thursday and Sunday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, over on Twitch and YouTube. And yeah, again, we will be back every week on Saturdays, talk about Invincible. It's going to be a great time, man. So that's going to do it for us. So we'll see you next time. Later.
Ladies.